in the bottom left of Glittering Ashes, the former world champion for the Shopify Rebellion. He is Byun. And his opponent in the upper right in the red for Alpha X, looking so good as he enters that hyperbolic time chamber for Katowice. He is Astrea. And we got fireworks. We got spice, pizzazz already. We have a Macarax in game number 1 for Byun here, which is not actually all that spicy, to be totally fair. It's not a proxy on the map that's going to drop Reapers in the main base super quickly or anything like that. But on a map like Glittering Ashes, when there are so many different spots that you can proxy on the map, it makes this Macarax much less likely to get scouted, which then, of course, means that maybe Astrea builds a Zealot when he doesn't want to. Maybe Astrea reacts to this in ways that give Byun an advantage. So, we have Astrea in the natural. He says, okay, there's a factory in your wall. There is no natural. All of these things are somewhat scary to me. But also, he's going to fight this Macarax. Is just... Okay, sure, I'm going to show the Reaper. The Macarax has accomplished nothing now. Astrea knows everything that is happening because the Reaper didn't run across the map. It is not going to be the Reaper doesn't run home and kill a scouting probe in a full proxy situation. It's just not a thing. Hello there, Foshers. And yeah, Silent Dream. This series is going to be a banger and a half. For sure, the robot is currently in simulation stage, and it's the robot for the people. Oh yeah, Astrea at Hero. Hero is my sneaky top 4 pick. I think he's going to make top 4 in Katowice if he has a decent, if he's able to make it his way through the round of 36. I think he makes top 4 in Katowice, and that is my prediction, at the very least. Okay, so Widowmine drops on this 1-1-1 aggressive opener for Byun in this game number 1. I actually would not be surprised to see an Armory go down right around now to sync up with when the Widowmines are ready. And because that just makes it a little bit more difficult for Astrea to deal with. This Twilight opener that he has gone with, he does not really get detection. I mean, there's an Oracle out on the map, but that's an Oracle on the map. That's not Oracle. That's not an observer in the base, anything like that. So you do have to be a little bit careful there. Anyway, what am I drop on the map now? And behind this, we have Cloak Banshees and a Raven popping out. There is so much shenanigans involved with this Byun opener. And I talked about it in the last series. Byun's openers have been one of the most exciting things in the Terran meta right now, but we have a Widowmine drop in the natural. Probes are going to get pulled in perfect time. Nice splits as well. 3 workers, actually wait, 2 workers should go down here because the Widowmine is not going to burrow in time. Target fire, retargeting just to buy a little bit more time. But the Stalkers, of course, sitting underneath the medevac, making sure that no hot pickup will be allowed in the drop in the main base is going to be attempted. Stalker shots on that one too, so it's going to be 1 worker. Only 1! Astrea handling this marvelously in this game, even as Byun is being obnoxious as all get out. Oh, the Widowmine drop on top of the workers, but no. And actually, yeah, it gets 1 worker for a 1.5 base. 3 Widowmine drop that had a Macarax Reaper in it, which is not the most aggressive thing, sure, but he's going to lose the medevac too because Astrea, he builds a single Phoenix. You don't build a single Phoenix, but in this game, to shut down that aggression, that pressure that Byun was looking for with 0, okay, you lost a probe, with 1 probe as the damage, Astrea, I'm not going to say miles ahead because this game has legs in it for days, but Astrea doing everything right in the early game. Hello, DankB23. Yeah, I'm actually really sad, Silent Dream, that Zest is not playing tonight, because I feel like we probably would have gotten a Hero Zest matchup. And that would have been amazing. I'm really hoping I get a BCD stream slot for Katowice for the round of 36, because, and specifically, I hope I get Heroes qualifying match for the round of 36, because I already know how I want to call it. You know. Alright, so the cloak was actually not researched. It was a fake. Just for the Raven play from Byun. Byun built a Raven, put it in the corner of the map, and is just using this. He's hiding it because he knows that there's at least one Phoenix on the map. He doesn't quite know how much until now when the Stalkers run across the map and they blink backwards. You do not get Blink and Mass Phoenix. It's just too much of the same thing. Both really good map control, anti-drop tech. That doesn't do a great job in a straight-up fight. So ideally, you have Phoenix plus Splash, something like that. Which should give Byun license to do something here. And in the meantime, of course, the Raven just finding value, or not finding value, but generating energy on the other side of the map. And while I expected to see this go and be used to disable something in the third, this is a Zealot timing, or this is Zealot plus one armor, all about the charge, all about swallowing up the Terran army. So we see the Raven go, and actually it's going to get scouted immediately, and the Phoenix is going to get it as well, which means it should only get 1 or 2 auto turrets off, not much more than that, before it runs away. And there we go. That's the single auto. Well, it drops the auto turrets, but it only gets 1 round of it. And now the dead Raven, 3 probes go down, but Astrea can absolutely be okay with that one, considering the fact that he lost nothing early on. Zealots run forward, Zealots run back. Force fields are going to be actually somewhat nice here, but the tank stage is going to make this really difficult. Charge is done in 8 seconds, and that's the timing that Astrea is looking for. Byun looking to abuse that before the Zealots are actually good, before +1 is done, before charge is done, and he has had some great trades thus far, but the army supply, it's still equal. Astrea, he's got his 4th base done. It's not mining yet, but it's ready to mine the second that this pressure is abated. And while Astrea is going to struggle to remove this spot with the tanks as they are with the Widow Mines as well, well, eventually you get enough Zealots, and actually I want to see the Zealot run in, or the Phoenix run in, just to lift up these tanks. One of my shots are going to go off. Oh, that's so many Zealots going down here. That's such a problem, but Zealots will get on the tanks regardless. Stalkers knocking some of them down as well, but Byun, he is still pushing on in. 1 tank remains. So much of the army of Astrea has fallen here. As good of a job as he has done sandbagging things. The force fields as well. The tank will finally die, so now it's just Biomine, but the Biomine is a powerful thing indeed. Bio-stimming up on the right side, even as it is overstimmed. Maybe the overstim is going to be enough here. Zealot's getting on top of it. The Immortal goes down, and the healing is going to be just barely not enough. The Stalkers hold. But behind this, we have the reinforcements of Byun. He has his 3rd base on location. It's building an orbital, and he maintains a 30 army supply lead. Hello there, Cytotonic. I was just talking about my plans to get a couple canvases with Zerg Terran Protoss emblems on them for my standing background, and chat seemed to be pretty with it. MaxPax is the best PvPer in Europe, and that's probably not even a question. Okay, so we got the next army of MaxPax, or Byun, excuse me, running across the map here. He's up about 30 army supply, which is that inflection point where it is so hard for the Protoss player to stop. And actually, Astrea's out of position here, so he is just going to lose this 3rd base, I think. I don't think there's enough to do anything about it. Widowmines are going to run forward. Stalkers are going to knock 1 down. Notice Byun is targeting a little bit of the Nexus, and the rest of it, he's trying to kill this army. 2 birds with 1 stone, 2 birds with 1 scone, as PETA would have us say. But regardless of whether you're feeding birds or killing them, the 3rd base will go down. And Astrea not getting much done in the process. But the Zealot run by the Natural is doing a lot to bring him back into this game. There is no wall in the Natural for Byun. I mean, Zealots can run in and out at their leisure. It's not exactly something that you're looking for. And with the superior upgrades, maybe that's going to be something. But again, the Widow Mines are finding so much value here. The Zealots, they run in, they die. And that's all that matters. 13 army supply remains for Astrea. Byun dominant in this game number 1. He's going to stim onto the 3rd base now. Shield battery overcharge is going away. Toot sweet. Widowmine shots, a little bit of a friendly fire that time, but even with this Phoenix, it's not going to do enough. Although it may get a medevac as the Stalkers warp in. It's again, the rally, well, actually, there's no rally for Byun right now, so this army may get cleaned up. But 68 army supply versus 9. The probes getting pulled. They're not even going down. The healing is doing a ton. The one Phoenix is actually doing so much because there are no Marines anymore. It's just Marauders. Nothing shoots up. A lot of these medevacs have died, but now the Marines arrive. Now the Phoenix is truly dead. And Byun stims forward once again. Nursing a supply lead, nursing a tempo lead. GG, Astrea falls. Byun takes game number 1. In the upper left, in the blue, he's up 1-0 off some really cool play. He is Byun. And his opponent striving to take us to a game number 3. Give it up for Astrea. Although you say don't confuse Byun with Byul. Byul is back, and he has been playing in some EPT Koreas, things like that. I look forward to seeing him do more. I mean, when I think of Byul, I think of innovation making him cry on, oh, what was the map? It was the circular one that had all of those line of sight blockers. That was just disgustingly good for mech at the end of HOTS. Yeah, it's so easy to forget Neeb because he only plays in the big stuff. I wish I could only do the big stuff. I mean, not really because I enjoy doing this, but the up-and-coming caster grind is a significant grind. You have to do everything, or at least as much as you can, to get a shot to get noticed. And then you need people to vouch for you to get on the mainstream. And even still, unless you're at, I don't know, Rotterdam level, Pig level, something like that, you're not getting paid enough to make that. Well, actually, even then, Rotterdam, Pig, whatever, they got to go, and they have to stream to, well, I don't know if they could make ends meet without it, but certainly makes things help, and it also helps them get those continue to get those invites. Yeah, Disc on a good day has a shot at being top 4, top protest in NA as well in PvP. Oh, you said for the US, yeah. Neeb, Astrea, and Nina. Is Neeb playing AoE 4? I haven't heard anything about that. Everyone knows that Marine Lord is like the best AoE 4 player that exists. But I didn't know Neeb was playing. I mean, everyone dabbled a little bit. I just couldn't get into it. The controls felt too painful. Did that Reaper get anything done? Wait, did he? Okay. Byun keeps semi-committally proxying a Reaper, then doing nothing with it. Really weird. But anyway, the Reaper will get rid of the scouting probe now, and that's going to be something. Now, Astrea, again, he's going to scout that this is a 1-1-1 opener, double, maybe not double Widowmine, but double, could be double Hellion. And he has a Stargate proxied on the map. It means that, well, there's going to be an Oracle in Astrea in Beyond Space at right around 4 minutes and 15 seconds, something like that. And that's right around the timing where we're going to see Byun run out on the map with his Widowmines, try to drop on his opponent and cause chaos, cause damage. Which means there's not going to be a lot at home. There's not going to be the hidden Widowmine idea that allows you to kill a quick Oracle that you might not be expecting. Or that your opponent might not be expecting. So there we go. 3 Widowmines, 4 Widowmines, actually, that's a lot, in the medevac. We're going to have to see whether Astrea can get commensurate damage to whatever damage he may or may not take. Already, we have Zealots on patrol on the high ground, so Astrea actually was forced to buy a Zealot early on. It's not generally something you want to do without charge. But the Reaper and the Widowmines are going to run up onto the high ground now, and the Oracle into the main base as well. Notice Astrea is going to be a little bit careful about making sure he doesn't dive too on top of things. Hold positioning on top of the gas pot right now. Of course, 2 Marines do just about nothing, and we got to drop in the main base here, but there's already a cannon. Astrea is prepared for this. It doesn't matter. You pull everything away. You should take 0 damage from this whatsoever because the cannon kills it all. And that is exactly what is happening here. Meanwhile, 5 workers have died. Astrea on the pull on the natural. Is it in time? He's going to lose 3 probes, actually. Looks like he lost one on the... Oh, okay, he lost 2 in the gas on the main base. Not perfect, but good enough. And now the Phoenix will get the Widowmine, or excuse me, we'll get the Medevac as well. So this should all get cleaned up now. And with the lack of an armory, Astrea knows where this is. He's just taking him a second to clean it up. Widowmine in the main looks like it died as well. Stalkers got rid of that. So at the end of the day, 5 probes. I believe 1 was a scouting probe, so it does not really count, for 5 SCVs and 4 Widowmines and a Medevac and a couple of Marines. And the Oracle is still alive, by the way. Very, very nice setup for Astrea in this game. Now, the only thing you're worried about at this point for Astrea is the fact that his ability to build Phoenix is predicated by a structure that... Oh, okay. That's we got the Reaper in a mid jump picked up. Yeah, Silent Dream. That's actually kind of insane. It doesn't surprise me, but it is insane. Now we have the Phoenix hitting the map here, trying to find some value into the main, but of course, missile turrets are done. Actually, I think that missile turret may have just completed as the Phoenix showed up. But again, the one issue with what Astrea is doing in this game is the fact that, yeah, he's going Phoenix, and that's great. I have no issue with him going Phoenix, although I wish he would get up to 5, maybe a little bit more. But because his ability to build Phoenix is predicated by what he has on the map, this proxy Stargate, it means that he's going to be able to lean into it just a little bit less because, well, that's a Stargate that will be victimized as soon as Byun finds it out on the map, which means less late game production, less mid game production. But Phoenix production has been restarted after Astrea gets his tech, +2 on the way, a whole bunch of gateways, and Charge being about halfway done. It means it should be done by the time this army moves out on the map, because the Phoenix are just going to do so much to harry and prevent the army from Byun from doing much of anything. And notice every time there is a tank section off, a couple Marines that he can catch, anything like that, he's going to kill it. He's going to force Byun to waffle and wimble and whatever you want to say on the map here. Now the Raven, actually, you got to be careful with that Raven. It's going to take a little bit of damage. But we need a big warp in his Zealots. +1 is already done, +2 on the way. We're going to see Armor Shredder Missile go down on some of these Zealots, but more and more are going to warp in, and they still have a decent upgrades. This Armor Shredder is not as bad as it might otherwise be, but we got bunkers on the way here. The Raven will go down, but not before a second Dorito Cannon does go down. That means these Zealots, honestly, they should be able to take the fight. +2 attacks not yet done, but the tanks are not firing, and Astrea, he has on top of all of them. One tank goes down, second tank's going to go down as well. Zealots get dropped on it, or it gets dropped on top of the Zealots, whatever you want to say. The army is going down. There is no running from Astrea in this game number 2. He has this third base. He is dominant in this game. A couple Marines. It looks like they're going to knock down the last of the Zealots from this round. That's just because Astrea is getting so much on the other side. Those are dead bunkers. They were not canceled. And if you look at units lost in this game, massively in favor of Maximum Angel. And the third base is not yet done. Byun, he has +1, sure, +1 armor on the way, but he does not have the economy to support this situation. He certainly does not have the army to. And this is interesting. Instead of going to like +1 attack after +2 armor, something like that, Byun almost getting sniped down there. Losing one of those full medevacs would have been disastrous. But again, it's interesting. We see Astrea going for +3 armor before +1 attack. Although he does have his second forge now as he takes the gold. So he should be able to get more done. Actually, I really like what Astrea is doing here too. It's an Oracle that he's going to replace on the map, and this Oracle is not for worker harass later on. It may find something, but it is just to get vision of his opponent, to figure out where Widowmines are, but most importantly, to figure out where his opponent's army is, to keep it consistently tagged. So Byun will not have the route back into this game of, well, maybe I can get a drop on the side of the map and kill my opponent's base and equalize things just a little bit. That is not the case anymore. And by the way, Astrea really increasing this Phoenix count. He's going to go up to 9 or 10. Which means, again, no running from this army. You have to win this fight straight up or not at all. The one thing I will say is I kind of wish Astrea was transitioning his tech a little bit harder. He's got his Robo halfway done, but going up to 6 gas, going up to Archon Storm would be a great way to do it. Oh, okay, so the Phoenix they're going to find... Well, actually, that's not going to be worthwhile. I think they got a Marine. That's going to be that. And there we go. So Ghosts are on the field. Means these Phoenix are just about worthless as anything but a... Well, anything but a pure anti-air timing. But now the Bio's going to stem on forward. This is a lot of Zealots. +3 armor is done very soon, which is, I believe, the timing that Astrea is going to be looking for. His +1 attack is already done. 5 seconds until the upgrade completes. And Astrea is getting ready to move in. There's not a lot of here, not a lot of here to stop these Zealots, actually. There's a 4th base, but I'm not even sure you want to lose that. EMPs are going to blanket this army. Widow Mines are going to go off as well, but there's just so many Zealots. And the friendly fire, the traitor Widow Mines are going to cause so many issues. But no, Astrea, he needs to wait for the charge to come off cooldown. And Byun is just free-firing to this army that Astrea is just not dealing with. He says, I'll kill your 4th. Actually, I'm going to cancel your 4th. But this army supply from Byun is just massive here. But now the Zealots are going to truly get on top of things. The Phoenix firing away. Widow Mines, they don't want to burrow because they don't want to kill their own army. And that's what Byun, or that's what Astrea is looking for. The army of Byun is falling down. The Zealots, the 1-3 Zealots, but those upgrades are more than enough at the end of the day anyways. GG, Astrea. He takes the game. We have game 3. This is what I was looking for. Here we go. Well, Silent Dream. The interesting thing about this is this is kind of a similar setup. Oh, by the way, we have Byun did this. 2K Atmos wasn't game 1. That was Glittering Ashes. But he just did the same thing on Glittering Ashes. Okay. Same idea. But yeah, Silent Dream. This Mass Zealot idea is pretty similar to the Pureling Bane idea that you'll see Pro Zergs do, where it works because their macro is perfect. You know, they have their timings down to a science. We saw what happened in Astrea Beyond game number 1, where he hit 10 seconds before charge was done and annihilated the fight. Because he could. There was nothing that Astrea could do when his Zealots didn't have charge. So if you're going to miss the timings, the style is so much less powerful. Whereas, say, a more traditional match or a more traditional army maybe is not going to be quite as dependent on hitting your timings as closely. Interesting, though. Astrea may be looking to get aggressive. He's got a double stalker opening in this game. Normally, one of the first couple units that you make against the Terran will be an Adept to give you that scouting information, the ability to maybe delay a natural if that's what you want to do. And even against Reaper play, getting a... Oh, actually, wait. Oh, he did get the second stalker. Okay. And even against a large amount of Reapers, getting those Adepts are nice because they do so much damage to the Reapers. But I guess not. It looks like we're not going to have any expeditionary force of the Stalker. Just the Reaper is doing a decent enough job of keeping things at home. And of course, behind this, well, we got shield batteries going down in the main base, or 2 in the natural. I saw 2 shield batteries go down, but I only see 1 of them in the game. Okay, the Reaper will go down, but it will we'll get a probe. Okay. Yeah, only a single shield battery. That makes more sense. But again, behind this, we have, it looks like it's going to be 2-gate blink expand from Astrea in this game. So 3rd base is going to come down somewhat soon. And behind this, Byun with a similar idea about how he wants to play the game. The big difference, of course, is the fact that this is not Widow Mine drops. And we're going to see a Raven out once again, but we've seen Raven both games, actually. Byun putting significant value in either the Armor Shredder missile. Actually, I'm sorry, this is a Widow Mine drop anyways. Was not paying enough attention. Widow Mine's into the main base now. Astrea, though, he's got the pull, and he's going to lose a probe. But Widow Mine for it. Totally fine. Although I guess we're not going to have that glorious hold. Does that Widowmine have... Oh, okay, that does have range for that. Interesting. We're not going to have the type of glorious hold we had in Game 1 where Astrea got the medevac and all 3 Widowmines for the cost of 1 probe. Unfortunately not. That was cool, though. It was really cool. Anyways, we have the Raven on the map, and we're seeing Byun do that thing again where he hides it in a corner. Oh, actually, I guess this time it's just going to be... Yeah, this time is going to be rallied for straight harass. He's not going to pool it. Because this was not a Stargate opener for Astrea for the first time in this series. I'm sorry, that is a best of 3. For the first time in this series, it's not a Stargate opener. It is a Blink Stalker into Colossus 2-gate expand, the old stats build. And on 2,000 atmospheres, this makes a lot of sense. There's not quite as much dead airspace that you're looking to punish the Terran committing into. And you have a nice... There's some nice chokes that you can make use of Colossus for. And the Raven will get scouted, though, so Stalkers should be able to move into position. But what this may do is free up the drop on the north side. There's a lot of aggression built up, pending for Byun in this game. The Widowmine drop just outside of the main natural area. The Raven between the natural and the third. And it's going to be interesting to see whether Byun pairs this up with the aggression like it looks like he actually is. Or whether he uses that in some other fashion. But for now, Byun moving out on the map here with 2 tanks, a lot of Marines. His stim is over halfway from being complete. Combat shield's not even close. Medevac's only just now being created, but it looks like Byun trying to kill a timing by hitting an anti-timing, moving before all of his stuff is done, and therefore Astrea will not be expecting. Now we have an auto turret in the natural that doesn't find much value, and the tanks, well, they've sieged up. They're not finding too much either. The Widowmine shot, okay. Not going to get much either. 3 workers go down, but this gives Byun maybe license to push in, knocking down a pylon, the exposed one, but again, not too significant damage. The Raven's finding a little bit more. It's got 1 kill. So that's something. Charge is going to be done in a second, though. That means Byun, he has to run home, even as he does own the vision here, and the tanks are in the line of sight blocker, which is always very annoying. As Zealots run in, this may be a problem. Stalkers, they will blink on forward, and the Zealots are trying to eat things, but there we go. The tanks will reveal themselves, and Astrea, he has to back up. Even as he did lose... He's lost a couple more workers, but still... Oh, wait, this is a dead Raven now. Okay. Raven is not going to be a key component of this push. Not anymore. And actually, we've got a couple Zealots into the natural. Astrea is doing a good enough job of sandbagging this right now, where it is just becoming incredibly difficult for Byun to do what he wants to. Oh, he's going to delay the third base, too. Nice. Building it on location does have its downsides, but we have a drop in the main base now, and there is nothing here for Astrea to defend just yet. It looks like Byun's just going to stem on top of the probe, says, okay, well, I want your economy more than anything else. Maybe I'm going to depower some things, but it's only a gateway. That's the only important thing that got depowered right there. But maybe he forced enough of Astrea's army out of the third base. Well, there is 1 Colossus here, so I'm not sure that that is the case. And the one thing that we're missing from Astrea right now, more than anything else, is a forge. He doesn't really have his upgrades. In part, this is because he's only on 4 gas. 4 gas with the Colossus and Charge and Stalkers. Does mean that you don't have the gas really for upgrades just yet. Anyway, we got a push happening on the third base. The Colossus getting some really nice shots off to start. The force field is going to hurt more than help, though, as the Zealots cannot really get on top of the rest of this push. And the tanks outside the rocks causing problems as well. The drop in the main is not even going to get the good medevac. Not going to get the full medevac. But for now, Astrea stays alive a little bit longer. The drop in the main base, though, the Colossus needs to track this down. I think the Colossus should be able to kill this up, especially with the Stalkers, but 12 workers, they have died. Astrea only mining on really half of this third base. And with 17, 18 workers going down, his economy in shambles here. Yeah, he delayed the third, but that doesn't matter. He needs to go do something on the other side of the map right now. At least clean up this army. At least equalize that. But he's only going to get the tanks. And this drop that Byun has found so much value in is still on the map. It's still occupying pressure. And yeah, there we go. Byun thought, or Astrea thought he had forced Byun back, but Byun hasn't. Byun is not forced back here. He's just finding so much value. The multitasking of Byun is incredible in this game 3. And while Astrea may not be dead, his economy is well and truly in shambles. It looks like this drop eventually is going to get cleaned up. I guess 1 Marauder will get out, but for all intents and purposes, it has been cleaned up. Stalkers in the main base will get the rest of that. So Astrea, He has pushed Byun back for now. Actually, this Marauder is still finding value. 6 kills. That is... And the Stalker's not going to get it. The Medevac's not going to go down. One more shot. All it took. But we have to see Astrea move out on the map now. He has 3 Colossus. He does not have upgrades. 3 Colossus are still powerful, though, even without upgrades, as long as they can get their shots off, as long as there is enough there to buffer for them. But Astrea, I guess he's going to take the longer route. He's going to say, well, you know, I'm behind. If I try to kill you, I'm going to die. I just cannot push into a turtled up Terran. Not with 3 tanks. Not that he knows how many tanks there are, but not with 3 tanks and missile turrets and everything else. But maybe if I get upgrades and get Storm out and turtle up on 3 to 4 bases and take this game another 10 minutes. Maybe that's what I'm going to be able to do. But Byun is not interested in letting that happen. His army's already out of the map here. It's got a couple Vikings. Not enough to really bother the Colossus, but over time maybe. And we're going to see the side blades go out. The laser blades trying to do what they can, but instead, Stalkers run forward to their death. Byun, he can maybe even take this fight without the tanks. Not in the choke that Astrea has provided, though, as we got a couple Archons. Storm about halfway done. And Storm doesn't care about upgrades. In fact, one might argue that the more Storm you have, or the more army your opponent has, the better Storm is, because it's going to clump up a little bit more. And his ghosts are not yet done. There's not a lot that deals with High Templar, but deals with Storm in this army for now. Storm just about 2/3 of the way. How many High Templar do we have in this army? Answer is 1. It's going to have to be a hell of a storm for Astrea. Byun looking to siege up, disrupt a shot on top of these tanks. Stalkers pulling forward, doing a little bit of damage to make sure that 1 tank does die. But we need more disruptors, and we need this storm to be massive. Where is that High Templar? Off to the side. Okay, so Astrea understands what the game state is, what he has to do. Shield battery overcharge gets popped. 1 Colossus goes down. Byun stims in, but the storm is ready. The High Templar has energy for it. It's going to come in from the side. Is it going to get a... No, it's going to die. The tank targeting it down immediately, but these Colossus, they're still firing strong, at least for now, but they're stuck where the missile turret, or they're stuck where the shield battery is. The 3rd base of Astrea goes down. The tanks are just too powerful. And there's not much Astrea can do. That storm was going to have to be his saving grace. And instead, Byun is the one singing Ave Maria in this game. His army is too powerful, doubling the army supply of Astrea at this point, up upgrades, up everything a man could want. Yeah, there's a feedback, but not before the EMPs hit anything and everything. Byun stimming for the win in this game number 3. He takes it. And he moves on to a date with Hero in the quarterfinals.